Hey guys, it's been a while, but I'm back. I know you guys have been waiting for my video to drop again, and it's been over a year, and a lot has happened. But today, I feel like there's something I gotta say. So let's talk about it. So, whew, feeling all the energy. Okay, I'm feeling the energy. So you guys are probably feeling the energy too. So let's see. We've been feeling like there's some heaviness, there's some discomfort, there's something going on that you're just like feel like something good is about to happen. Deep down, my intuition is telling me something good is about to happen, but my heaviness is like, well, I don't feel so good right now. This present moment doesn't feel too good. So does it feel too good because the end is near, and that's why it doesn't feel right. Something feels like, okay, this heaviness is a buildup. You in the ring, and you're just like, okay, something about to happen. I don't know what's about to happen. Okay, but stay with me. Sorry, I'm just like, I'm feeling the energy rising up. That's where you're at. You're trying to build momentum. You're trying to get back to yourself. You're trying to open yourself up to allowing this energy to come to the surface, let it go, and then you can be yourself. You can allow, well, okay, this pain is coming up, this sadness is coming up, this fear is coming up, this anxiety is coming up. I don't know what the heck is my life gonna be. Where the fuck am I going? Okay, well, you don't know where you're going? Well, that's the point. You don't know where you're going, but the door is opening up. The doors are opening up, and it's time. It's time for you to imagine more for yourself. And when you imagine more for yourself, you have to let go of what the existing reality is. This doesn't feel good because it's so small. It's so small and you're so big, and you're just trapped in this middle land. But you're meant to be somewhere more expansive. That's the main word I'm hearing. Like, you're supposed to expand this energy, this light. You're supposed to allow people to see you shine. And that was one of my previous videos I shared, where it's like, okay, it's time to shine. And you can only shine when you allow all that sadness, pain, darkness to drop. Gotta drop the stories that you've been telling yourself, the same script, the same movie you've been playing. There's only so much healing you can do before you actually get to that point where, okay, it's time to share now. It's time to actually do that thing that you've been telling yourself that you have to do. Where there's things that are coming in right now, and until you let go of the things that you know are not meant to be there, there's no space for it. There's no space for the good things, the good people, the good experiences, the opportunities. They don't have space right now if you don't let go of some things. So that's the main thing that you're being challenged to do. Let go of something. And deep down, you know what it is, because you've been telling yourself, like, okay, what am I holding on to? Why am I holding on to this? This makes me feel comfortable, or this makes my life easier, or whatever it is. But it's also stopping you from being yourself, and it's also stopping you from imagining more for yourself, because this is what you know. You know what to do when you interact with this type of cycle. You know what to expect. versus when you let go of this, you don't really know what's happening next. And that's why you have to trust your intuition. You have to trust yourself and know that there's something better than this, and that it is meant for you and it's possible for you. But right now, just if you keep holding on to that thing, you're just gonna have the same type of life, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be living the same life 5 years from now. If I told you you're about to be in the same spot 5 years from now, dealing with that same person in that same spot where you're living right now, and you're just gonna, this is your life now. Your life is predetermined. This is it. This is what your life is gonna look like. You don't want to hear that. That doesn't sound fun, because you, as a human, you always want to keep evolving. You want to feel like you're trying new things, you're going to new places, you have a different experience with your life, and you have, every day is new. Every day is a space or an opportunity for miracles or for a new experience. And you don't want to feel like, oh yeah, I can expect what my life is going to be like. This is like an episode that you have on repeat for like the rest of your life. Like, who wants to watch the same episode 1,000 times? Nobody. So, hello, change the channel. It's time to change the channel, and it's time to just be open to, well, what do I want this movie to look like moving forward? There's a new year coming, and you get to decide what you want to come with you and what you want to stay outside of that new you or that new path. And no one can make these choices for you, but all you have to do is trust your gut. And your gut is going to tell you when the time is right, but only you can actually choose and actually make that step of like, okay, I know, I see my patterns here, I see what I'm doing, I see that I've been holding on to this thing and it's limiting me, or I see that I've been holding myself back and I haven't been putting myself out there because I'm just replaying those stories. And this is something we've been talking about for a while now, and you have to be the one to get yourself out of that. And you're so inspired by so many other people, but you have those qualities within yourself, and God is just saying, just trust that. Just see that you have those qualities within yourself, and this is confirmation that it's time for you to. It's time for you to step out there and actually start making a life that makes you feel at peace, makes you feel like you're doing what you're meant to be doing here. And doesn't have to be this grand thing. It's really about, well, who do I want to show up as today? How can I be a better person today? How can I make my life feel like I actually lived today and I'm not just stuck in this sadness, in this storm, in this depression? Like, you don't want to keep feeling like you're just stuck in the past and you're just like replaying those sad memories, those bad experiences. Like, it's not a good feeling. And it's also like, it gets redundant after a certain point where you know where these stories end. You replaying it isn't changing the ending, isn't changing what happened. It's really about, well, okay, yeah, this is what you've been through, or this is what you came from, but what do you want to make out of that? How do you want to realign with your power, or take your power back, and knowing that can't take your power away. Only you can allow that to happen. Only you can keep this going. Like, only if this story has been replaying and you've felt stuck for this long, only you can unstuck yourself and basically say like, oh, I'm stuck. If you keep saying you're stuck, you're stuck. But if you keep saying like, I've been stuck for a long time and I don't want to be stuck anymore, in this next season I'm gonna find a way to unstuck myself, or I'm gonna open myself up to a different experience, or to a different story, or to a different perspective. And I want my breakthrough. I want to get out of this stuckness and the stagnancy, or if that's even a word. And that's okay. You can say that. You can say words that don't, if they're not a word, I think that's a word. But you know what I mean. Like, there's no rules here. And there's so much seriousness on earth, but it's not this serious. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to apply to 20 jobs on Indeed. You don't have to do that. You can just create art. You can just do what makes you happy. Like, there's no rules. You don't have to go to school for 10 years to go do what you want to be doing to help people. Like, you can literally go outside and help somebody right now. Like, there's no freaking rules. Just do it. Like, come on. Think about what your dreams are. That's another thing. Like, we're so trapped into, oh yeah, nobody hears me, nobody wants to hear my story, nobody wants to like actually like create space for me. Well, you have to create that space for yourself. There's things that you dream about, and share those things. There's somebody out there that wants to hear it. Maybe your friends or your family aren't asking you key questions and creating these deep conversations about, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to bring into this world? And you should be talking to people that actually want to hear it. Or if you don't, create a platform where you can talk about those things. And life doesn't have to be this, you can't do this, but you can do that. Like, come on. Seriously, not everything is about survival and just trying to make it through the day. All of that sounds freaking terrible. Like, we just want to be happy, and it all starts with being authentic and honest with ourselves about what it is that we see in this world, what makes us not feel good, and how can we get out of those cycles. If me saying go apply to 4,000 jobs today because the job market sucks, like, okay, bro, realistically, you don't have to go down that path. There's other ways. People do it every day, and I don't want to hear the excuses. Like, if you're, yeah, you can be going on a job search, I respect it, but at the same time, you don't have to be miserable while you're doing it. You could have a regular job, and that's okay, but you can also do things that make you happy along the way. You can do things that make you feel good. It doesn't have to be a miserable experience that you're working towards. And like, yeah, you're in your job search and you haven't found your job for this long, but do you want that experience to be negative, or do you want it to be positive while you're doing it? Like, that's a choice. It is a choice. If you haven't heard back, okay then. So what do I want to do in the meantime? Okay, I want to go do something fun because I just want to be vibing. And you don't have to spend money to do that. You could just be chilling. You could literally say, okay, I want to start doing some yoga. I want to do some yoga inside because that would be fun. Or I'm gonna do some art. I'm gonna do some arts and crafts today. And you have a bunch of stuff around your house that wouldn't feel so fun, but you're just focused on what you don't have. You're focused on lack. You're focused on just this emptiness. And there's so much that would bring light back into your life that you're not putting your focus on, because if other people have this and other people are succeeding and they have all these things, it's not about them, it's about you. And you putting your focus on that is taking you away from focusing on things that would actually benefit you and would actually help you get to what you're meant to be doing. Because you seeing other people doing something and you get jealous and you're like, oh my gosh, why am I not doing that? I'm not where I should be. But you're thinking about them. while they're thinking about themselves and what they want to be doing. And that's why they were able to do that. And that's why you have to connect with yourself and to be able to find what is unique to you, because everyone's path is not the same. Not everybody wants the same things, but that's okay. You want what your inner self is crying for. Like, all these people that are successful, they're not thinking about what other people are doing, and that's why they're successful, because they're thinking about, well, what would make me feel alive and inspired, and like I'm sharing myself with the world. And the other people, they're successful because other people see that they're being true to themselves and they're following their dreams. And that's why just follow what your inner self is calling for. And sometimes right now the decision might be let go. Right now that might be feel. Right now that might be validate yourself and actually hold yourself. Like, it's different for everyone, but the main message I'm trying to get across is it's about you. It's about what that inner intuition is telling you, and nobody else can tell you that. Nobody else can tell you how to listen. Well, people can tell you how to listen, but nobody else can tell you to make the choice that your intuition is telling you. And nobody else has that feeling in your gut but you. So use what that inner voice is telling you to know what direction to take or what to put your focus on. And learning how to differentiate that inner voice from those thoughts that are convincing you that you can't do that, or you should be afraid to do that because that's not good, that's not safe, you can't do that. And just being able to say, like, okay, if that person could do it, why can't I do it? Like, if they could go outside and go for a jog, why can't I do it? There's nothing different. All they're doing is just not letting the thoughts that are convincing them not to do it to not stop them. They're putting that aside and just saying, like, I can go outside. Like, why not? I could do that. And even if I don't do a jog, I'm gonna just go for a little walkie poop. So, like, there's no rules. Like, we don't have to make life so serious. That's really it. Like, life doesn't have to be so serious. Yeah. No matter what you've come from, that is very true. That's very real. That was your very real experience. And I'm sorry that happened to you. I am. Like, we've all been through some heavy stuff. And right now, that the whole point, all of that happened, is so that you lost yourself a little along the way, but now you're supposed to take yourself back. That's what this whole journey's been about. You're supposed to take yourself back and just be like, oh, I thought all those things took my power away. But they didn't. That was just my mind telling me that everything I've been through, I lost myself, and that's it. That's where the story ends. But that's not true. You're supposed to find yourself again and actually be like, ah, I see you. I found you, friend. And then you just share it. And you're just like, okay, I found myself again. All them things that can't take my power away. And look, I'm here. I'm still standing. And now I get to choose what I want my life to be like. Yeah. And you're just vibing. And it's not that serious. And you're just having fun. And that's it. And that's what God wants you to put your focus on. Is just seeing, like, there's a bigger perspective to everything that's gone on. But there's also a lot of wisdom that you learned along the way. And there comes a point where God wants you to share that with the world. God wants you to put yourself out there. And doesn't have to be on a huge platform. If it's someone you're talking to on a bus, that was you sharing yourself and sharing a piece of yourself that was very meaningful and may have inspired another person, or may have inspired you to be able to show up as your authentic self in that interaction. So don't make it feel like this has to be this grand thing that you're presenting to the world. If that doesn't feel authentic to you, or if you're not there yet, that's okay. And that doesn't have to be the destination. The destination is more about your relationship with yourself and you actually being able to find yourself again and saying, like, you know what? Hey girl, you've been through all that stuff. Or hey guy, you've been through all that stuff. Whatever, they, them. It's okay. Like, you can hold yourself. You can say, like, we're good. We're good. Like, dang, that was a lot, but like, we're good now. Like we're back. We're present. We're safe. Like, hi. Like, it's just like this person that you have forgotten about because so many things have fragmented you and, like, what's that called? Like, it shattered you. All these things shattered you, but you can pick up the pieces and you can rebuild it to the point where it's not shattered anymore. Like, you know how you can, like, put the glue together on things? The universe and God is giving you a chance to actually flip the script, create that whole new thing all over again. You don't need to pick up the pieces. All you have to do is connect with yourself, let it flow through you, and you will become that new vase or whatever the glass thing that I'm trying to say. So just trust. All you gotta do, trust yourself. Trust what your intuition is telling you, because it's been communicating every single day. Right now, watching this video, you've had like 10 different million thoughts that you're like, oh, I think I might actually have to let go of that. I think I actually have to make space for this next chapter by deleting this or discarding this. And that's why it's so important, because you hear that voice is never going to leave you, but it's only going to be shoved aside the more you continue to shove it aside. But you can just see what happens in life when you start to listen to that voice. And I get it. It's a pattern, and it's a cycle of not listening, but then eventually you do listen and you're like, okay, let's see what happens when I listen to what this voice is telling me. Oh, you want me to drop that friend? Oh, you want me to drop that relationship or this dynamic with this person that makes me feel terrible? Okay, it hurts. Or I feel weird that I'm not in this cycle and I don't have to keep fighting them or trying to prove myself to them. But what happens now? And then the universe starts to bring people into your life that actually you don't have to be in that dynamic with. Or you start to be that friend to yourself that's like, oh wait, I'm making this realization for myself. That person didn't make me feel good. Oh my gosh, why was I trying to keep them in my life? Why was I fighting so hard to have a relationship with them? Like, what? And then you take your power back and you're like, oh my gosh, life is so much lighter. I don't have to fight to show myself or to be my truth, like to be aligned with my truth. Like, or I don't have to keep defending myself. I don't have to keep setting this same boundary with this person that doesn't respect me. Like, yeah, you don't. Life doesn't have to be a bunch of relationships that make you feel terrible. It can be so much fun. It can be people that, there's so many people out there that want to be your friend. I would love to be your friend, and that would love to have that safe relationship with you where it doesn't have to be what it's been. It's the biggest thing. Like, it doesn't have to be it's terrible, sad, it's stormy life. Like, trust. It's not gonna happen overnight, but the biggest thing is the internal work of listening to yourself, trusting yourself, hearing that voice of yourself, and being like, dang, I haven't been listening to you. No wonder nothing has changed. Okay, I'm gonna start listening to you. I'm gonna see what happens. And you're gonna be tested. There's gonna be people that are going to be reinforcing that same story you've been saying, like, oh yeah, I don't know if I should go down this path, and they're gonna keep reminding you, like, yeah, I don't think you should go down that path, because remember, you've been talking about this for a while. You've been talking about how you didn't know if you should go down this path, or you didn't know if you should stay in this relationship. You remember you've been questioning this for a while, and it's like, okay, they're reinforcing that, and they're being a mirror to who you were a couple weeks ago, or they're being a mirror to you who you were like a few months ago. But you're constantly evolving, and guess what, maybe a few weeks ago or a few months ago you weren't listening to yourself, so now things are different, and now you're like, okay, I'm going off of my intuition now. So when someone else is saying my old stories, I can actually pinpoint it, and I can be like, oh, they're just reflecting a different part of me that wasn't listening to herself, that was questioning everything. But now my intuition told me, like, okay, it's this path, and now I can actually hold on to that, and now I can see, like, okay, someone told me this, someone told me that, but what does my intuition tell me? And now you can trust yourself. That's really what this is all about. It's just not taking what other people are saying at face value. No one else knows your truth, even if they're like, I don't know, tarot reader, fortune teller, the life coach you've been working with for 12 years. Like, they don't know. Nobody knows you better than you. Nobody can, like, listen to your intuition better than you can. So, like, just trust yourself. You're your own leader. You're your own guide. And it's all about what's in here. What is your intuition telling you to go towards? And this is going to be a journey. You're going to keep trying to hear that. You're going to, like, keep letting it unfold, and you're going to keep practicing this. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you today, because it is a journey, but it's a fun journey when you start to realize, like, oh wait, no one else knows me, only my intuition knows me, and my intuition knows that there's something better out there, and there's a better experience, and I don't have to be so anxious and depressed. I don't have to live in the past. I don't have to be afraid of the future. Like, I can just be right now. I can just have fun right now and make my day focus on this day right now, and actually just working on being a better person today. And you're gonna be tested. You're gonna be driving, and you're gonna be like, okay, I'm driving, I'm trying to be a better person, but what the heck, I'm so used to getting so angry, I'm so used to being so impatient. Okay, you're tested. So, okay, you're driving, you're gonna have to be patient, and you're gonna have to be kinder, and you're gonna have to let these things roll off of you, and being like, okay, I'm trying to be kinder, I'm trying to be more patient, but I'm driving. So how can I let go? How can I allow these things to flow off of me so that I'm not so angry all the time, and I'm not so reactive? And yeah, this is a journey. Just have fun. This is what I'm sharing for today, and who knows what the message is tomorrow. But this was fun, and I'm so glad I just let this out, like word vomit, because I've been thinking this for a while. But this is time. This time, the breakthroughs are happening. You're getting out of your way, and this is only the beginning. This is like pre-beginning, like contemplation, pre-contemplation, like whatever just trust that everything's gonna be okay, and you're getting out of your way, you're letting go of these narratives and what the world tells you, what the news is telling you, all these things. It's all about being able to say, well, what do I want to hold on to, and what do I want to say, like, okay, I see that this is what the news is saying, but what do I want the next step for me to be? What do I want my focus to be? Like, okay, I'll apply to jobs, but at the same time, I'm gonna play around, see what my creativity is telling me, or see and how can I explore the things that I like, and what opportunities or what paths are there for people that like things like me, or just being able to imagine that for yourself. Imagine, well, what are the things that I like? And this, you might have never asked yourself that, so it's going to be a journey of you exploring that, and it's going to take time, but just allow yourself to go in that direction. But yeah, that was it. I'm so excited that we did this. We talked, and I know you guys were missing me and waiting for another video to drop, so I hope that this helped, and I'll stay tuned because I'll be sharing some more pretty soon. Trust. All right, bye.